to college. Yes, you can. Sí se puede. This is being hosted by the Long Island Education Opportunity Center, LIEOC. I am with the Department of CCI, College Connection Initiative, where we provide such services as college admissions, financial aid, helping you decide which career and which career path you'd like to take and which major you'd like to study. So my name is Roxanne, and this is my assistant, Ricky.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to College Yes You Can, Si Se Puede. We are very excited to have you here, and we have a lot of great information for you today. Here to give our welcome is Dr. Elsa Sofia Marote, our Dean.
Hello, everybody. How is everybody here? I'm so happy that all of you are here in this excited event or virtual event, or first virtual event on our number 14 College Yes You Can. So we'll have our quinceañera in a few months. So I just want you to enjoy, please enjoy this event. We have a lot of information from you. We'll have information for DACA, for our DACA students. We'll have information for all our students about our admissions. We'll have also interesting information about how to do short-term careers. Sometimes it's important to have an extra career to start making money while you are in college. So you will have a lot of information. We also can, please go to YouTube or go to Facebook. You can ask questions and we'll have ready to answer all your questions. So with that, I welcome you to our College As You Can, and please believe me, you always can go to college. Doesn't matter what age you are, doesn't matter if you have money or not, college is always available. You just need to have the information to learn how to do it. With that, I will leave, or we have our first presenter is DACA, Miss Pat Mush. She will explain you all this information about DACA and financial aid. Thank you.
Hello, and welcome to College Yes You Can. Today we're going to be talking about access for undocumented students to higher education. We're going to talk about DACA, undocumented students, the New York State DREAM Act, and ways that undocumented students can access higher education and tips along the way. I want to thank you for listening to this presentation today. My name is Patty Munch. I work at Suffolk County Community College. I'm the co-chair of our Undocumented Student Task Force, and I work in the Division of Student Affairs. So the first thing that we need to talk about is DACA. So DACA stands for the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. DACA was enacted as an executive order on June 15, 2012. It allows for work authorization. It offers a 2-year stay from deportation. It's renewable for every 2 years. And there are about 800,000 people participating in this program. What's important to note here is that all DACA students are undocumented, but not all undocumented students have DACA. It's also important to note that access to higher education, specifically in New York State, has no relationship to being a DACA student. Really, what DACA provides you is access to work opportunities after you complete college. And so one of the things that I think students get very confused by is this idea, well, I didn't get DACA, or my DACA wasn't renewed, or what's going to happen with the Supreme Court in DACA, so I'm not going to bother going to college. What you need to understand is that undocumented students in New York State always have access to higher education, and it is not contingent on your DACA status. So as we continue to think about DACA, one of the other things that we need to think about is that it was terminated on September 5th, 2017. There was then some court rulings that said that no new applicants can apply for DACA, but currently enrolled DACA students can continue to renew their DACA status. Now, we are expecting this summer for the Supreme Court to have a ruling on the constitutionality of DACA. But again, what you need to understand when it comes to DACA and access to higher education in New York State is that you still have access to higher education in New York State, even if DACA is fully rescinded, okay? So again, what this shows us is exactly what I've been saying. It does not have an impact on your access to higher education. What it really impacts is what work you can access after you complete your degrees. Okay, and so for certain degree programs that require a work permit of some kind, that's where could be some issues. But generally, access to higher education, specifically in New York State, will not be impacted by DACA. What is important to note is undocumented students' access to higher education and tuition rates. So I think since about 2002, New York State has offered in-state tuition rates to undocumented students to all 64 of their SUNY colleges. So any SUNY school will offer undocumented students access to in-state tuition rates, okay? You need to have attended a New York State high school for 2 years. You need to have graduated from a New York State high school or received a GED in New York State. You need to have applied for college within 5 years of receiving your high school diploma or GED. You have to show proof of residency. And proof of residency is rent receipts, utility bills, things that show that you live here. So when we're talking about residency, we're talking about where do you physically live, not necessarily residency like permanent resident cards, okay? And then you need to file an affidavit declaring that if you're ever given the opportunity to legalize your status, that you will. So again, in-state tuition rates is accessible to all undocumented students who fit the criteria on the screen. That means that you're paying the same rate for every SUNY school in New York, just like your documented peers. So that includes Suffolk Community College, that includes Stony Brook, it includes Farmingdale, it includes Old Westbury. If you want a list of all SUNY institutions, you can go to suny.edu. You can see all the 64 campuses. Every one of those campuses, if you fit this criteria, are required by New York State law to charge you the same rate as any other student going to that school. So that's the first thing that's important to know. And remember, this is for all undocumented students, not just DACA students. Now, when you're filing your application as an undocumented student, all applications are going to ask for a social security number. When you're dealing with a social security number in an online application, the easiest thing to do is to just put all zeros. That will help the school indicate that you don't have a social security number. Now, if you're a DACA recipient, you can put your DACA number in there because it does act as a social security number. But again, all undocumented students in New York State have access to higher education. If you don't have a DACA number, then you can go ahead and put all zeros in there, right? Basically, that helps the institution know what status you have. And again, it doesn't necessarily reveal your status because lots of other students are going to need to put all zeros in there. International students do, and other populations of students, but it gets you through the process, okay? So it is important to know that. The other thing is that your visa type, and this often confuses students. So international students who enter the United States for the purpose of going to college have what they call an F1 visa, okay? Students who are currently living in the United States, who go through the United States K-12 school system, who would access in-state tuition rates, are not F1 visa holders. So this whole piece, if you see, this is a sample application. When they start asking you about visa types, they're really looking at international students, not students who currently live in the United States, okay? So undocumented students really don't have access to F1 visas. And to be honest, you have, in my opinion, better tuition rates and things as an undocumented student than you do if you're an F1 student. F1 students are always charged out-of-state tuition, or what we call double tuition. So they pay double the rate of an in-state resident. So you're not going to worry about the visa status because that's really about international students. When you're processing an application, put all zeros in, the application will be submitted, and you may get a follow-up call of somebody asking you, do you have a social security number? At that point, you just indicate, no, I don't have a social security number. If you're comfortable, you can tell that person I'm an undocumented student, and then they'll move you through the system that way. So undocumented students have to complete what they call an affidavit form. And the affidavit form is the last step in giving you access to in-state tuition rates. So the affidavit form can be very important. Now, the one thing I'm going to note is that each SUNY school manages their affidavit form a little bit differently. What's important is for you to ask during your admissions process for the affidavit form in order to get in-state tuition rates. Some schools are going to require you to fill out the affidavit form there on campus. Some schools are going to ask you to notarize the affidavit form and then simply submit it. Some schools kind of ignore this law completely, and as soon as that they see that you have residency, meaning that you have a utility bill or rent receipts, and that you came from a New York State high school, they automatically give this to you. But you want to note that you're dealing with the potential to have an affidavit in place. Now, the affidavit is pretty simple. All the affidavit's going to ask you is to please sign your name and say, if you're ever given the chance, you're going to become a citizen of the United States. It's not saying that you need to take legal action to do so. It's not saying that you need to invest in a lawyer to try and adjust your status. It's just saying, if the country ever changes its mind and gives me legal status, I'm going to take it. That's all it says. New York State has now started requiring schools to also shred those documents. So after the school gets them, the school has to notate it for tuition purposes, but then has to shred those documents just to make sure that you're very secure. Now, the most recent change in terms of access to higher education for undocumented students is access to New York State financial aid. And this is called the Jose Peralta New York State DREAM Act, okay? This act allows undocumented students and other eligible students to apply for New York State financial aid. Oftentimes, students think that this is a scholarship, that you are applying for a scholarship. And I've heard many times it be referred to as a scholarship. It is not a scholarship. This is not only for students who have a 3.5 GPA who did 500 clubs in high school. This is for every student in New York State who is undocumented, who meets the criteria for residency to apply for financial aid from New York State, okay? So it is based on income. It is not based on academic merit, and it is not based on co-curricular activities. So when we're talking about the DREAM Act and we're talking about the New York State DREAM Act, please know that this is not based on academic merit. This is not a scholarship that you are awarded. This is grant funds that you can have access to just like every other student in New York State. So this also isn't a different pool of money. What this is giving you access to is the New York State Tuition Assistance Program, the New York State Aid for Part-Time Students, and the New York State Excelsior Program, okay? So that's what this is giving you access to. Now, you're going to apply in a separate application from documented students because it's going to not ask you for as much background information as your documented peers, because it is important to keep some of your information in a different and more secure environment. But it is important to note all undocumented students who have access to the in-state tuition rates all also have access to New York State financial aid. So when you're applying for your DREAM Act money, okay, and you can apply if you go to, if you just Google New York State DREAM Act, the application will come up. It's the Jose Peralta New York State DREAM Act. You Google that, you start your application. To address confidentiality concerns, you don't have to provide a personal phone number. You can provide a contact information of a trusted friend or an adult who you have regular contact with, so that if they do need to get in touch with you regarding any questions about your application, that you can do so. You do need to continue to check your application along the way. And so what you're going to see is that as you process the application, you're going to be asked different pieces of information. So it is important to keep monitoring that application. You're going to submit the application online. You're going to upload any required documents. And after that, you're going to have the TAP award, which is the Tuition Assistance Program, and the Excelsior Scholarship application. The difference between a TAP award and the Excelsior Scholarship application is really based on income. So at a certain income level, students are eligible for a full TAP award. A full TAP award covers almost your entire, your entire tuition for most schools within the SUNY system. The Excelsior Scholarship is for a different income level. So if you have a higher income, it ends up being an Excelsior Scholarship versus a TAP award. In my opinion, you're better off with a TAP award than Excelsior Scholarship, but honestly, you're going to take whatever award the school gives you. So what's going to happen is you're going to apply for your New York State DREAM Act funds so that you have access to New York State financial aid. In that process, you're going to indicate what institution you plan on applying to. That institution then gets your financial aid information. They create what they call a financial aid award for you based on your income information. And then the college that you're attending reaches out to you and tells you what your financial aid award is going to be. Okay. And so one of the pieces of information, because they're not going to be asking for a social security number, is they're going to want your student ID number for the college that you are attending. Whatever college you're applying to, they're going to create a student ID number for you. Once you accept admission to that institution, you're going to get a student ID number. So that's the ID number that in the process for the New York State DREAM Act, that's the ID number that they're talking about. A lot of times students get confused and put in a high school ID number. That's not the data set that they're looking at. They're looking at your college ID number. So for example, if you're going to apply to Suffolk County Community College, in your admissions letter, you're going to have a student ID number in that admissions letter. That's the ID number that you're going to put into your New York State DREAM Act application. Now, you can start your college application and your New York State DREAM Act application simultaneously. And then once you get your student ID number, add it to your New York State DREAM Act application. That's why you have to continue to monitor that application, because it's going to ask you for more information along the way. And you do have to provide a total household income, but you don't necessarily have to demonstrate that you've filed taxes with that income. It's really just looking for estimates of information. So when you're thinking about attending college, what's important to note is all undocumented students have access to higher education in New York State. Undocumented students who attended a New York State high school for 2 years and graduated from that high school have access to in-state tuition rates at any SUNY institution within 5 years of applying to college. Once you apply to college, you can also apply for the New York State DREAM Act, which is going to give you access to New York State financial aid. Other questions that students have had along the way is concerns about deportation and the relationship between the New York State DREAM Act and ICE as an information agency. What you need to understand is that the New York State DREAM Act applications are held confidential within New York State. ICE works for the federal government, and so there's really no relationship between the two, and the files kept in New York State stay in New York State and are never released. Colleges are prohibited by law from reporting immigration status. So colleges very rarely, if ever, will keep your immigration status as part of their records, which is wonderful because we can never report who at our institution is undocumented. For you as a student entering our institutions, what you have to understand is that we never really know if you're undocumented. So oftentimes students get frustrated because they feel that the institution should know that you're undocumented because you probably told somebody during your admissions process that you were undocumented, but that's never noted in our system. So you may have to self-disclose more than once to more than one office, depending on the circumstances and what you people need to know. But it is important to understand that colleges will not keep any kind of record of you being undocumented, and New York State holds those files confidentially, and so the access to those for deportation is not permissible. Who will be able to see the information that you enter? It's seen by the Higher Education Software Corporation, and that's it. and those are people that work for New York State. So the only people who have access to even reading those files are employees within New York State. Again, no federal relationship, which is important. And you automatically get a New York State Financial Aid Award if you qualify for the DREAM Act. What's going to happen is it leads you to those applications. So you file for your New York State DREAM Act based on the information you're given, then you're accessible to a TAP award or an Excelsior scholarship. Again, going back to the importance of continue to monitor the application. The application is going to move you through the award process. And you can always call the school that you're attending. You can always call the financial aid office because they'll also have access to your records and they'll tell you where you are in the process. So that's another important piece of information to note. So undocumented students, whether DACA or not, can always access higher education in New York State. If you've graduated from a New York State high school and you went to that high school for 2 years and you're applying to college within 5 years, you also have access to in-state tuition rates, meaning you're getting charged the same amount of money to go to school as all of your documented peers. Undocumented students in New York State also have access to the DREAM Act. The DREAM Act gives you access to New York State financial aid. Those financial aid awards, depending on income, can cover the full cost of tuition. And finally, once you're at your receiving institution, one of the important things to note is that that institution does not keep a record of the fact that you are undocumented anywhere within their system. The benefit of that is that you're very secure in understanding your status, and who does or does not know your status, it's completely up to you to self-disclose. However, when you're navigating higher education and you start college, you may find support and resources along the way and build a community of peers who are going to help support you. What I have here is our undocumented student resource guide at Suffolk County Community College. Now you can click on this link and what it's going to get you is it's going to get you to a full set of resources that students can access. And these resources are not really just resources at Suffolk County Community College. This includes an entire page of Long Island resources. It includes information on how to complete the DREAM Act application. It has video links that we think are useful. So this isn't just for undocumented students coming to Suffolk County Community College. This is an option for all students who are undocumented or who support undocumented students to know what resources are out there. As always, I'm here to provide support. You can always reach me at munschp@sunysuffolk.edu if you have any individual questions or need support along the way. Thanks everyone, and I hope to see you on campus in the fall.
Thank you, Patricia. That was some valuable information that you shared with us today. I hope you guys are taking really good notes. And if you have any further questions, please don't forget to leave it in our chat. As Roxanne mentioned at the beginning, this is an event hosted by the Long Island EOC, so please visit us at longislandeoc.org. Now, you may be asking yourself, what if I don't have a high school diploma or equivalency? Want to make some extra money while in college? Well, our next presenter, Maria Matos, she will be presenting about the different programs that the Long Island EOC has to offer. Maria Matos holds a position as a bilingual admissions advisor at the Long Island EOC. So please welcome Maria.
Hi everyone, good morning. So in this part of the information session, I will be talking to you more about the programs at the Long Island EOC. So let's dive in. First, I will begin with the academic programs. So we have ESL, high school equivalency, and college prep. In the ESL program, English as a second language, we have 4 different levels of instructions. And basically this program is designed to help you in the areas of reading, writing, grammar, and oral communication skills. So if English is not your first language and you're looking for a class in the summer, next month we'll begin our summer session. 2020 is going to be through distance learning. And also we have the fall semester that classes will begin in the month of September. So you're more than welcome to attend. Next is high school equivalency. This program is geared to high school students, but if you haven't if you don't have your high school diploma, you can obtain your high school equivalency with us for free. And in this program, basically it provides academic instruction in 5 different areas by the task. That stands for test assessing, secondary completion, and the 5 different areas are reading, writing, mathematics, science, and social studies. By the end of the program, you will be able to take the New York State equivalency, um, high school equivalency exam. So if that's your goal for the 2020, you're more than welcome to start again in July next month or September. Don't, uh, skip this opportunity. These are resources, free resources available for the community, and you can apply online at longislandeoc.org. That will be the first step for you if you're interested in taking any of the classes. Last but not least, under academic programs is college preparation. So if you already have your high school diploma or high school equivalency and you're thinking about going to college, then this is the class for you. We will help you brush up on your language, language arts, mathematics, and science, so you can feel more confident and ready to begin college. Also, this department helps you with um, resume writing, also finding the right college for you, the major, and also different aid that is available for you. FAFSA, TAP, and now that we just mentioned DACA. Perfect. So now we're gonna move on to workforce development. Are you passionate about healthcare careers? Well, the healthcare is on high demand and also is a fast growing field. So we're gonna begin with home health aid, HHA. So there's a demand for qualified home health aides or personal care aides here on Long Island. In this course, students will learn the following topics. First, recording vital signs, personal care tasks, uh, patient's companionship, and patient's nutrition. When you obtain your certification, your home health aide certification, you can work in a client's private home, in an assisted living facility. So there are many options for you, and you can be a hero for your client and their families. It's a rewarding career. Second, we have pre-NA, pre-nursing assistant. In this class, you will learn the fundamental knowledge needed for you to transition to the CNA program at the Long Island EOC. If you already have the score for you to take the CNA, you don't have to take the pre-NA. The Certified Nursing Assistant program is a job that is ideal for people that are looking for flexible hours. And also you can work in nursing homes, hospitals, doctor's offices, and healthcare facilities. This program, the CNA program, also you can obtain your CPR and AED certification. The skills you will learn at a certified nursing assistant can prepare you for a long-term career in the nursing field. So it's a stepping stone Long Island is a stepping stone for you to continue. You can go and become an RN if this is your passion, if this is what you like. So next, under Allied Health, we have pharmacy therapy aid. So pharmacy therapy aid is an entry-level position that they perform work uh, delegated by physical therapies or a physical therapy assistant. You will learn hands-on uh, patient techniques, uh, ethical, sorry, ethical issues, medical terminology, and also record keeping. So if you're looking into that, we have that option for you to try, see if you like it. And like the CNA, there's more opportunity for you to keep growing. Next, we have EMT, Emergency Medical Technician. So the program provides students the medical knowledge and skills necessary to care for the injured and the sick in a pre-hospital setting. For this class, you need a driver license. You're going to be doing a lot of driving too. There's a lot of jobs out there for EMT. And EMT is the first step. There's EMT Advanced and then paramedics. Like I said, if you want to grow and if you like this field, there's room for you to grow and continue your education. Next, last but not least, under Allied Health is pharmacy technician. So pharmacy technician is a course in that focuses the curriculum that trains you to excel in the world of retail, hospital, mail order pharmacy. So basically, it trains you to think in a way that can help you address the need of the patient and pharmacist you work with. So those are the classes under Allied Health. So if your passion again is healthcare, we have many options for you. So please visit the website, or you can give us a call for more information about the summer classes that will begin next month or the fall classes. I will continue with business. So under business, we have administrative assistant. This program is designed to prepare you for a career as an administrative assistant. So you will have a strong background in office skills, including keyboarding, Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Access. Electronic records is another program under business and allied health. And you will gain, in this class, you will gain the knowledge and skills required to work in today's rapidly changing healthcare environment. One of the new classes that we have is virtual assistant entrepreneur, and this is a home-based business. You will be offering administrative support to companies, businesses, and other entrepreneurs. It can be from data entry, calendar management, email management, translations, answering phone calls, making appointments, data entry, and many other tasks. The more you practice, the more knowledge you're gonna gain, and the more jobs you will have. So basically, at the end of the class, you will get certified. The program provides students with the knowledge and skills they will need to build their own virtual assistant business and market themselves to potential clients. Another class is security guard. And under VisTech, we have many programs. And usually those programs will begin in the month of September, the fall semester. And we have Intro to Web Design, to Adobe Illustrator, and that goes under the category of website and social media. And nowadays, most of the companies have a website and a social media. So you will be creating content for their social media accounts. There are many options for you to grow in that aspect. The other one is Introduction to Graphic Design and Basic Drawing Techniques. That goes under the category of print and graphic arts. And the other category is photography and Photoshop. So you will learn Adobe Photoshop and digital photography. The two new programs that we have are Army Test Preparation and Energy Industry Fundamentals. So in the Army Test Preparation, you will assist potential Army recruits in developing the reading, mathematic, and vocational skills needed to attain the cutoff score for the ASVAB exam. And the other program is Energy Industry Fundamentals. In this class, it ensures that potential workers gain an understanding of the energy industry as a prerequisite to occupational specific training. So these are the classes that the Long Island EOC has for you. If you want more information, please visit the website. If you're interested in the classes, please apply. These are free tuition programs that are available for the community. If you've been a New York State resident for 1 year, you can come to the programs. The Long Island EOC just not offers academic and vocational training. We also offer workforce workshops, and it's in different areas. We offer Microsoft certifications and other workshops for entrepreneurs. If you check our social media, we're always posting the information as soon as we have the class. That way you can see it and be updated. So thank you so much. That was my presentation for the programs at the Long Island EOC. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maria, for your lovely presentation. Woo! We have two questions to answer. One of them was about scholarships. So with scholarships, there are a few search engines that you can look at. One is Scholly, SCHOLLY. It is a great search engine for scholarships. There is the College Board Scholarship Search, FastWeb, and of course, always look locally. See if your parents' companies offer scholarships for you. The college that you're attending to offers scholarships. So there are many, many places in which you can look for to get a scholarship. The other question was, if I apply as a DACA student, does that affect my parents? No, it does not at all. College is just strictly for college and nothing else and nothing more. So on to our next, back to my assistant, Ricky, with admissions. Woo! Go, Ricky.
Hi, my name is Ricky, and I'm the College Connection Coordinator here at the Long Island EOC. At College Connection, we find that it's very important that you continue on to your next step of going to college. So here are some tips for you when you're about to apply. When doing your college search, you can use various search engines, such as the SUNY.edu site. This will come in handy when you're applying to a SUNY school. The College Board search is also a very good search. Peterson search, the Princeton Review, US News and World Reports. On the SUNY.edu site, there is the SUNY Smart Track. Smart Track is a section on the SUNY site. It's a collection of resources designed to help students and families understand college costs and develop a financial plan for the future. When you go into SUNY Smart Track, on the left side of the screen, you will see the resources available, like tuition and fees for different colleges, the net price calculator, and Smart Track best practices, which will come in handy when it's time to repay your student loans or when you're in school. After you've narrowed down the schools you want to apply to, you'll start the application process. What you'll need to apply is the college application, the application fee, an essay, transcripts, and you'll want to give the school or institution ample time to process that request. Test scores, depending on if the school requires ACT or SAT scores. Letters of recommendation, you'll want to give the writers ample time to write a letter. I would say about a month in advance you would ask them. And your resume. So now we'll talk about admissions criteria. Colleges use some, if not all, of the information listed below when determining whether or not to accept an applicant. Individual colleges, however, differ in how they evaluate this information. Grade point average or class rank. Colleges know that students who do well in high school are more likely to succeed in college. Colleges therefore consider a student's grades in college prep courses to be the most important in admissions criteria. Strength of subjects. Colleges examine high school transcripts carefully. They check to see if students have taken the recommended college prep courses and whether or not students have taken any advanced or honors courses. Test scores. Most four-year colleges require that students submit ACT or SAT scores. The more selected the school, the more important these tests are. However, some colleges are coming away from requiring ACT or SAT test scores, but they do come in handy when it comes time to place students in college track classes. Extracurricular activities. Colleges are looking for meaningful involvement, commitment, dedication, and evidence of leadership. They're also looking for students with unique talents and interests. Recommendations. Colleges often ask for letters of recommendation from counselors and/or teachers. Here are some application tips. Submit the application in a timely manner. Be mindful of deadlines for schools or joint applications. Follow the directions and answer every question. Use correct spelling, grammar, and punctuation. Have someone else look over your application before you submit it. Again, be aware of deadlines. All applications require a school transcript, and most have sections for your counselor to complete. Give your counselor plenty of time to prepare transcripts, complete forms, and write recommendations. The college essay. Think of the college essay as an opportunity to tell the college admissions committee who you are. Here are a few tips to write an outstanding college essay. Be sure to follow the instructions with regards to length and subject matter. The Common App or college will give you prompts to choose from to write your essay. Tell the reader something new, something that can't be learned from your application or transcript. Remember that college admissions are interested in knowing what makes you different. They look to accept people that desire to make an impact in the world. Write in detail about the impact or effect that an event has had on you. Don't just reflect. Don't just recount, reflect. When recalling these events, you need to give more than the play-by-play or itinerary. Describe what you learned from the experience and how it changed you. For example, instead of, I learned a lot from volunteering for Habitat for Humanity, write, seeing the gratitude in Mr. Jones' eyes made a lasting impression on me. Never again will I take having a house to come home to for granted. Have at least 2 other people read your essay. Use clear, concise sentences and be yourself. Write an essay that could only be written by you. Read it aloud. In reading aloud to kids, colleagues, or friends, we hear things differently and find room for improvement when the writing is flat. So start by voice recording your essay. Here's a video that talks about common essay mistakes.
It's hard to write that essay, it really is, because it's a page or a page and a half, and you know the three most common topics, or at least the three topics that are really important to high school students, or perhaps that have impacted their lives in the most profound way, would be death of a loved one or friend, moving, or divorce. And those are pretty heavy-duty topics. And there have been outstanding authors over the years who have tried to approach those topics and have had a difficult time in a 500-page book. And now we're asking a 17-year-old to reflect on that in 750 words or less. So it's a great challenge, so be careful.
I think that if you don't feel that you can trust the admissions officer to safeguard your secrets or to see you in a vulnerable light, you're going to miss an opportunity for the admissions officer to get to know you as well as he or she possibly could.
One of the biggest mistakes that students make on their application essays is to sort of make an embellished resume. So we've already seen your resume, we've already seen what you've done, what you're interested in. Don't use the very few words you have to tell us about yourself only to talk about what you do. I think the essay is sometimes thought of as a way to show yourself off, and in reality what it is for us is a way to understand why you do the things you do, how those things impact you, how those experiences have shaped your worldview.
One of my pet peeves when I read admissions essays is when students describe an event without explaining the significance of it. And so if you tell me, for example, about a snowstorm, okay, sure, but what does that tell me about you?
Last year I read an essay about a student, or that a student wrote about his grandfather, and it was very well written, lots of wonderful imagery and good punctuation and grammar, but by the end of the essay I wanted to admit the student's grandfather because it was all about him. And so I didn't learn anything about the student in that essay, and so in that case, although it was a great essay, it was not great for this purpose.
Students who are creative will sometimes think that they should have a more visually appealing essay, and so they'll create their essay to be in the shape of something that represents who they are. It can be hard to read an essay that's shaped like a chalice, let's say. I've also seen students take the approach of a letter to a roommate or their presidential acceptance speech that they're going to give down the road, thanking Georgetown for the opportunity. And I think sometimes the ploy can take over the essay and you can't get past sort of the tool that they've used, and you don't actually get to the student. So I think it's better to write a simple, heartfelt essay than to try to put too much time into crafting something that you think will stand out or catch our attention.
I kind of understand where students are coming from when they say, oh, let me mention all of these different things, but I try to encourage students to sort of hone in, maybe on one experience, on one extracurricular, and use that as a lens through which we can get to see the way that you think, the way that your world operates, and also who you might be on our campus.
I hope that we were able to give you some insight about the college admissions process and things that you should avoid and what you should do when completing your college application essay. Good luck, and si se puede! I hope you guys found that very informative about writing your college essay and tips for applying to college. And don't forget that you need to make sure that you get your applications in before or at the deadline. For more information, here is Gabby Gomez. She will let you know about the admissions information that I was talking about in Spanish for those of you that need it. Gabby?
Hola, ¿cómo están? Mi nombre es Gabriela Gómez. Soy asistente de oficina de la sede de Brentwood de Long Island EOC. Estoy muy feliz de estar con ustedes el día de hoy. Hoy vamos a hablar acerca de College Admissions. Empecemos por SUNY Smart Track. SUNY Track es una sección en el website de SUNY que contiene una colección de recursos diseñados para ayudar a los estudiantes y sus familiares para entender un poco más acerca de los costos universitarios y desarrollar un plan financiero para el futuro. Ahora te preguntas, ¿cómo hago para aplicar a la universidad? ¿Qué datos o qué información necesito para poder aplicar a la universidad? ¿Y qué consejos me podrían dar para que mi aplicación sea efectiva y exitosa? Bueno, lo primero es que crees una lista de aquellas universidades de tu preferencia. Una vez que tengas la lista de las universidades de tu preferencia, es ahí cuando empieza el proceso de aplicación. Los puntos que necesitas tener en cuenta para aplicar a la universidad son la aplicación en sí, las tarifas y los costos que implican dicha aplicación, el College Essay, del cual vamos a hablar más adelante, transcripts, test scores, estamos hablando del SAT y el SAT, las cartas de recomendación que las puedes solicitar a tus profesores, consejeros estudiantiles o tutores, y finalmente tu resumen. Otros puntos que deberías también tener en cuenta y que son muy importantes al momento de aplicar a la universidad es tu GPA, tu averaje final de la secundaria. Muchas universidades evalúan esta información para poder determinar tu elegibilidad de aceptación a la universidad. Las clases que has tomado durante tu tiempo en la secundaria también son determinadas y evaluadas bajo el comité de admisión, especialmente si son de nivel universitario o clases de honores. Las actividades extracurriculares que hayas obtenido a través de tus años en la secundaria también son evaluadas, especialmente porque estas muestran cierto nivel de liderazgo, compromiso y dedicación en tus años en la secundaria. Ahora, hablaba de los consejos que te podemos dar para cuando apliques a la universidad y pueden lograr que tengas una aplicación exitosa y efectiva. Uno de los consejos es que tengas muy pendiente las fechas límites para mandar las aplicaciones. Otra es que sigas las instrucciones, responde cada pregunta en la aplicación y al terminar la aplicación siempre es bueno que busques 2 personas de tu entera confianza para que revisen la aplicación y eviten cualquier error gramático. Dale el tiempo apropiado a aquella persona a la que le solicites una carta de recomendación, sea un profesor, tutor o consejero estudiantil. Ahora vamos a hablar un poco más acerca de College Essay. Es el essay que tienes que escribir como parte de la aplicación, que básicamente es la oportunidad que te da el comité de admisión de expresarte, de darte a conocer, de decir quién eres y qué puedes aportar a esta universidad a la que estás aplicando. Te voy a dar unos consejos para que puedas escribir un essay efectivo y siendo positivo es algo que te pueda garantizar la admisión a la universidad que quieres aplicar. Sigue las instrucciones, como por ejemplo, qué tan largo es el essay y qué tema tienes que redactar. Si ellos te dan ciertos temas para que redactes y la opción de que elijas, básate en estos temas, en todo lo que ellos te den. Cuenta algo nuevo, algo diferente, algo que te haga diferente a cualquier otro aplicante. Como por ejemplo, si alguna vez pasaste por algún obstáculo, ¿cómo venciste el obstáculo? ¿Qué aprendiste al vencer dicho obstáculo? ¿Y cómo te puede ayudar lo aprendido a que emprendas una carrera profesional exitosa? Una vez que termines de redactar el essay, y esto va lo mismo que te mencioné para la aplicación, pídele a 2 o 3 personas de tu entera confianza que revisen el essay para evitar cualquier error gramático. Lo primero que quieres prevenir son errores gramaticales que puedan hacer que no te acepten en la universidad que quieras entrar. Siempre sé tú mismo al momento de escribir el essay, sé original. Espero que estos consejos te hayan ayudado un poco y que toda la información que te he dado el día de hoy y que te hemos dado a lo largo de esta presentación sea muy útil para ti y pueda lograr tu admisión en la universidad de tus sueños. Muchísimas gracias por contactarte hoy día con nosotros. Que tengas una carrera profesional exitosa y todos los mejores deseos para ti. Bye.
Woo! Thank you so much, Ricky and Gabby, for that lovely informative information. Right now, we're coming to an end to our program. So, I know, teary-eyed. I am so teary-eyed. I can't believe that the time went by so fast. But we just wanted to answer a few more questions. one of the questions are, what are the grade requirements for college? Well, to answer that question, it's really hard. Each college has their own requirements, so please check into the college requirements that you are looking at. Go onto the website and all that you need will be there for you. Another one is, what is the cost of college? Well, it depends which college you want to go to. If you go to a private college, chances are you're going to pay a higher fee than if you go to a state college, such as SUNY. SUNY offers a variety of colleges and vast amounts of majors to choose from. My best advice to you is, if you're going to choose a SUNY college, and they are some of the best colleges in New York State, you can visit SUNY, SUNY.edu, and there is a plethora of information for you. There's so much information about financial aid, the different majors, everything that you would need for college is on there. Also, don't forget to visit LIEOC's website for any further information that you may need. One of the other questions is, should I take a college tour of a campus? Ricky, I'm going to pass that one on to you.
Hey everyone. So I do believe that you should take a college tour. It exposes you to all the different activities that are on campus. You can speak with the different professors. You can see what kind of food is there, and you can see the vibe of the students. Right now, during this COVID time, they do not have any tours going on, but they do have virtual tours. So if you go to the college website, you can always go to the admissions section, and they usually have a college tour on there. Roxanne?
So if you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. You can email us at cci@lieoc.farmingdale.edu. I want to take this opportunity and thank the entire team of LIEOC for such a great time here and for helping us put it all together. So, woo! Go LIEOC team. I'm going to pass it on to our fearless leader, Dr. Morote.
Thank you, Roxanne. Thank you for all your work. And we are excited. We are very excited, you guys, that you have been with us for more than an hour with all the information we can provide. If you want more information, please check our website, leoc.org. And as you see, all of our classes are free. That means also you don't have to pay tuition. You don't have to have a debt. That is one of the major problems that we have. My advice for you guys is try to check our website. We have short-term careers that you can start right now in the summer. We have several exciting careers that will be useful once you go to college. You can start having a part-time job. So right now we have like a pharmacy tech, we have physical therapy aid, we have very exciting classes of Microsoft certification. I mean, this will help you a lot. So please go to a website. We have summer classes who begin on July 1st. They are free. They are online in this time because of the pandemic, but we also have class on time. Okay, so please enjoy and learn. And remember, college is always for you. Have a beautiful day. Bye.